Welcome to the Flippin' Finance Show, your source for empowerment, education on real estate investing, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy.
Yep, and today's episode we're going to be talking about is college a scam, one of the most important topics of all time.
Yeah, definitely, man. This college, I have a lot of good thoughts about college, and I have a lot of bad thoughts about college. But
I got a lot of bad thoughts. I ain't gonna hold you.
It's a big topic right now because obviously we was always taught that college is the key to success, and that's what you have to do in order to be successful in life. That was always a part of the blueprint. Blueprint that I'm talking about is college, a good job, 401k, Social Security, retire.
Yeah. Simple. Yeah, the American dream, pretty much. That's what they try to force upon you, is that American dream. So I know you went to college. Obviously, you got your degree. Unlike me, I went for a couple. I went there for like a year, probably total. Just was in and out. Really didn't pay attention that much into it. I was just like, it's college. That's what I was told. Like, you gotta go to college. You gotta just get a degree so you get that job. So I'm gonna start off with you, obviously, mainly because you did the whole college thing from start to finish. So what's your take on that portion?
So college was always like embedded into my brain since I was like elementary school, like for real. Like I was always like a good student in school, and I think obviously teachers saw that, and they look at good students and they push that college to you.
Yeah.
So I was always a great student. I had all A's. But yeah, so college was always embedded into me by teachers as well as my parents. Like my parents didn't go to college, I believe. I think my mom, she went to like a college or university in the Dominican Republic, but my dad definitely, I don't even think he graduated high school, but education, obviously education is super important. And then I feel like it's even more important for the people that didn't have the education. It's like, I didn't have this, so I'm going to push that for you.
Yeah, parents is like, I didn't go to school, but hey, if I would have went to school, I know my life would have been better, so I want you to go, so that way you don't have to start where I started from. You get ahead.
Yeah, and, college, my sister, she's 2 years older than me. I remember this one time when my sister, I think she was like in elementary school, or maybe middle school, she told my dad that I'm not going to college. And then my dad kind of like just snapped on her like, yo, you going to college because, that's what you're supposed to do in life. You go to college, you get a good job, have a good, successful life. And also, too, if you don't go to college, your brother isn't going to go to college. So, like, my sister kind of had, like, that pressure on her to, like, go to school and kind of, like, set that example for me. But, she didn't really have to be that example because it was already instilled into me. I was always determined to go to college, but
so I pretty much almost the same way. Like my mom was like, gotta go to college, college. No real reason besides, get a good job.
No real reason.
Just,
like
you go to college, get that good job, and that's it. They don't tell you like there's other ways. There's trade school. There's this type of school. There's all type of stuff. They just like go to college. They don't tell you like, hey, you should go to college and do this type of course, or you need to go to college and make sure your financial aid is good so you don't have student loan debt. They just like whatever you got to do in high school just to get to college.
No
matter what,
just go to college. Go to college and figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but and it's kind of funny because once I know we're gonna get into like my college experience, but once I graduated, like my close friends that I had before college, they like so proud of me. They're like, I got my one best friend who always brings up me going to college. Like everywhere I go with him, he introduced me to his people as the college boy. Like, hey, he went to college. He went to college.
He did it. He did it. My man, applause. He did it.
Like no matter where we go, we always got to bring it up. Like, yo, he went to college. He went like that's like people that didn't experience that. That's so big to them. It's like, yo, little do they know, like, it's not what it's like on TV or what you guys see on the TV. Like, it's way more to that. But yeah, even my sister too. My older sister, I think she went like a couple of years at Bryan and Strand, which is was it like a public like a?
So it's almost like pretty much like a community college, same thing, like OCC type stuff.
So she went to community college for a couple of years. But yeah, even when me and my sister graduated, she was super proud. And, that's just basically just me saying again, like, people that didn't experience college, they're overly proud knowing like little about college.
Yeah.
And all they just see is what they see on TV, as well as, just what society has taught us for centuries.
Yes. So with that, I know you like you said went to Bryan and Stratton, which is obviously a degree is a degree, but you went the hard way. You went to the university 4 years long route. So with that, how did that determine you? So pretty much why did you go to 4 years instead of like going to community college?
Honestly, like I didn't think of a 2 year as like I looked at a 2 year as like high school 2.0, like kind of
definitely
thing.
I went to a 2 year for a while. It was definitely
like
same people saying as you had a high school. 75% of them is in the
yeah, like when I thought of college, like real college, like the college experience, I never thought of a 2 year school or like a community college. I always thought about something that you need 4 years of education for. Yeah. So that was really my mindset on college and why I decided to go like that 4 year route. Because obviously with more education too, that's just the thing that they feed you is more education is more knowledge, and more knowledge equals more success in life. So 2 years versus 4, I'm gonna go to 4 years because I'm gonna get more knowledge there.
Yeah. So when it came to me, right? So obviously I went to the school thing. I was there to play sports, bro. I just wanted to play sports. I wasn't no dummy. I was a regular student. I just went to school, passed the classes. I didn't fail anything, passed my Regency's first try, all that stuff, right? But I was just like, I know exactly what I need to do. Like, I just got to get a 70 because just in case I slip down some, I still got that 65 at least I'm going to pass. So, right. I was just like, all right, this is what I got to do. Just stay on all the sports teams, stuff like that. So I did that route. And then, it's just like anytime, pretty much I'm probably like the other 80% of the students a regular student. And, it's like, all right, it's the end of the senior year, time to put in these financial aid packages and sign up for school. I'm like, all right, that's what everybody doing. Let me go to the college counselor.
Yo,
go put it in. And I just got a couple of steps. Obviously, pretty much every community college that I was, because I was a regular student. So like every community college would take me. So I'm like, all right, let's just go. I went out to Herkimer for a while for a semester. But I was like, this is. I get up, I do the school. I'm like, this ain't. I got a couple courses passed. But that was pretty much it. I'm like, yeah, this ain't hitting for me. I'm like, I don't even want to be here because I was already. I've always had that knowledge where like if I could just get in the door somewhere, even if I got to start on the bottom, I'll make my way up just from being in there. So I'm
facts.
I'm like, I'm done. I left pretty much right before all the final stuff left. I'm like, I went there, got a job. I was like, all right, this is cool and all. Let me go back to college real quick just to give me one more chance. So I just went back home, went to OCC for another semester. Same old thing. Like, all right, this ain't nothing. Yeah. I ended up getting a job at the hospital. Like, well, what I need to be? I'm already in the hospital. I was going for physical therapy. I was like, if I go for physical therapy, then that way I can, once I get that degree or whatever, I can just be like, hey, I got my degree. I got a job open. Because pretty much that's how the real life works is when you're in the door, the opportunities will come to you first than if you're outside the door. So I figured like I'm already in here. I was working in what is that called? Like a housekeeper type stuff down there. So I was just like, I'm in the door, making my ways up, getting promoted, all that stuff. I was like, well, I go to school, I guess. They say I need a degree for this. But then one day I was like, man, forget this degree. I'm going to go to the Marine Corps, which in my opinion, the Marine Corps is just like a trade school, which now that I think about it, it's like trade school. Like you go there, you get a job and they teach you that job. So it translates out to the civilian world. So, and it's free. So now you know how college is. I didn't have to pay anything. They pay for you to go out there. And that's how I pretty much ended where I'm at now that way.
You guys got literally like the whole perspective when it comes to like college, because you got me, the person that actually went through college and did the whole 4 years, graduated. Then you got my co-host Daquan, who he tried the college route, but it wasn't really for him.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I guess I could talk about my college experience. College, well, a 4 year school is obviously going to be completely different from a 2-year university. Actually, let's start with you. Like, how was that 2-year experience? Because I always wanted to know, like, what is like? Is it the same like a 4-year? Or like, how is it?
So I didn't go to a 4-year, obviously. So, but we're in a school area. We got one of the biggest universities. So it's almost the same. The only difference is it's probably smaller classes. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much it. Obviously, smaller campus, smaller. The necessities are smaller, but everything else is probably the same. They obviously a curriculum is a curriculum, so they're gonna teach the same thing everywhere. They get those books. They're like, all right, this is what you gotta know to do whatever degree you in. They all do it. They just do obviously in different ways, but I'm pretty sure like the extras was probably better at a 4-year than it was. Like we didn't have fraternities or anything like that.
Oh
like
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, my college experience was my 4 years in college was the best years of my life. Like I could honestly say, like I had the time of my life in college. And honestly, now that I graduated, like it's just very depressing. Like, man, like I wish I could go back to college and just not worry about anything and just be around my friends and just party, all that. But
but with that though, I know that you said that, but but what did you really get besides the friend aspect and the networking? But that's not even half of what you're supposed to be there for. Mm-hmm. I know besides that, the school part, would you go back for that part? Like the classes, the tests, the studying.
I mean, all that obviously sucked. Essays, presentations, all that. I was not a fan of that. But I do give colleges credit because it definitely it gives you like a well-rounded education and gives you that ability to think more critically than you would have probably thought before you went to college.
Yeah, definitely.
So it just kind of like basically teaches you to think more critically for yourself, analyze things differently, and then obviously have that support, like that grounded, that well college grounded support.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of like school, I think that definitely did a good job for me. But also too, like just the perspective, like the different perspectives that you get from meeting a lot of different individuals in college. When it comes to going to a university or a 4-year school, you're gonna meet a lot of different, people from different cultures, different backgrounds, and you kind of like become like woke, like in terms of like a lot of different areas of life. So
hold on, let me stop you there. So what you just pretty much said is the military at this point. Because when I went to the Marine Corps for 4 years, so I didn't go to school for 4. I was just like, I went to school for a little while. I was like, all right, it's not working. Went to work. All right, let me go do something for real. So I went to Marine Corps. But it's the same aspect, You get there, you get the brotherhood, You when they say people from all over the world, it's people from all over the world that you obviously meet and you learn and you get that networking going and you start learning different aspect of how the world really works from every angle of the world. So I can see the same.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities now that you mention it. But yeah, I also too, another like good thing about college is that it teaches you how to live. Like it gives you a taste of how to live on your own. Mm-hmm. Because obviously you're coming out of high school, you're living with your parents. Now, if you decide to go to a college where it's maybe 2 hours away, where you can't commute, now you have that taste of what it's like, once you're out in that real world and you're living in an apartment or your own house. So that was kind of fun, actually, like having that your own being responsible for yourself and kind of just being like your own person and doing your own thing. Kind of like, it's kind of like you
finally was free. Like
finally free.
Whatever
but like,
decision you made your own decision.
Exactly. But at the same time, like what I'm trying to say is you kind of reinvent yourself too.
Yeah.
Because now you're not, mommy's kid.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still always gonna be mommy's kid, but like you're your own man now, and you're making your own decisions. So, living off campus as well. Paying rent. That kind of game. I was not a fan of that, man. I had a lot of days where you go through the struggle.
So with that, did you work while you were in school?
Yeah, definitely. You have to, because
So you didn't get no like scholarship, full ride type thing.
oh, nah. I mean, I got some scholarships, but it's not enough to cover what college costs. So yeah, I had to take some loans out, and you do get a refund. You do get a refund check, but a lot of people
Oh, you was
abuse.
blowing that. You
A lot of people abuse the refund
Yeah.
check. They sign off on loans more than they need, so they could get a large amount, and they could blow on, what is
Yeah.
shoes,
Yeah, I got
clothes, vacations. I see everybody. I mean, everybody in
Yeah.
college. A lot of
that
college
refund
students.
time. This
They
was,
take so many vacations.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like,
what up? Wait, hold on, let me stop you there. So with that, like you said, with like you get the refund. There's my like right now, people doing the same thing with this with the stimulus checks.
oh yeah,
They blowing it the same way. It's pretty much identical. You get that extra bread,
and you don't know what to do with it.
Yep. A lot of kids went to college, never worked. They just went to high school, straight to college. Like, oh, I got 1,500 right now. Oh, I've been looking at them Jordans online for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Eating these bologna sandwiches.
And a lot of people, they don't even have jobs. Like they never experienced what it's like to have money, like in high school.
Yeah.
Like maybe they didn't have a job in high school, so now when they go to college and then they receive this refund check, they see $2,000 as a check and like, wow, like what am I gonna do with this? Oh, I'm gonna blow it on a vacation in Miami. Go to Cancun. Cancun was the
Spring
wave
break.
in college.
Yeah, spring break.
Everybody was at Cancun, like, but yeah, college, it really teaches you to, give you some life lessons in terms of like how to live on your own and how to fend for yourself, and kind of like just gives you that stepping stone on what it's gonna be like to, be in the real world.
All right, so yeah, definitely, I can definitely see that. So now we're gonna get into probably the real nitty gritty. So when you were in high school, obviously, we went to the same high school, but you go to the guidance counselor, and they be like, all right, time to do your FAFSA, time to do all this stuff. Did you know what you were doing before you got there, or did you just follow in the lead? Like, I got some good grades, I know I can apply for this school, and you just put in your request.
Yeah, like most people, we just follow the wave. We don't have a plan when it comes to college. Like that's something that they need to change in high school, is to stop implementing or stop embedding college as like the number one option when it comes to life. Because I didn't have a plan. I kind of just went with the wave. I had good grades, so I was like, I'm supposed to go to college. I have good grades. Like there's why would I not go to college? Yeah. So I didn't know, I know I wanted to go to Syracuse University because, that was just the home. That was home. So
but you didn't go to Syracuse, right?
Nah, I got dubbed. Syracuse dubbed me, man. But they're gonna regret it, because I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then you're gonna be like, oh man, he could have been an alumni for us. He could have made us.
Definitely.
All right, but yeah, they dubbed me. But I went to I went to U Albany starting out. So I'm glad I went there, because that's a big school compared to the school that I graduated. So that's where I really learned a lot, because I was branched out to a lot of different individuals, a lot of different backgrounds. I learned a lot in terms of just life, basically. Yeah. And also too, just that networking aspect. I definitely network with a lot of people at U Albany. And people that I still keep in touch to this day, that is, are helping me get to where I need to go. So a lot of good things when it comes to networking. But yeah, so back to what you were saying about what was my game plan when it comes to applying to college. I really didn't have any. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I had good grades, and I gave my guidance counselor obviously knew what she was doing. I put it in her hands and say, okay, what college should I go to? And yeah, obviously I wanted to get into something with business. Yeah. I was always, interested when it comes to like the business world. So I wanted to major in business administration. So anything that pretty much had business administration and was a known school, I was like, all right, I'm going.
Yeah, so it was nothing like you didn't realize because obviously there's certain aspects that we know now that we didn't know, like, hey, you go to this school, this is they actually teach you the curriculum. You go over here, they force you to take all these extra courses that doesn't affect anything. Mm-hmm. Just like, hey, I'm just going to this school. They didn't tell you like, hey, you go to this school, you're just based off the loans and grants, you're going to have this much in student loan debts. Or if you go here, you can obviously lower it, get that same degree and everything like that. They don't tell us that at all. At least they didn't tell me.
Yeah, nah, they didn't. I mean, they kind of told me in a sense, but not really go into any real detail when it comes to how college is going to be paid for and what is that going to look like after you graduate.
Yeah.
They kind of just broke it down as if you want to save money, go to a community college. If you want to, have the full college experience, go to a 4-year. So that's basically how they laid it out. But they didn't really go into detail on, how, that amount of debt that you're going to have after you go to school and graduate.
Yeah. So I pretty much same aspect. Now, in my opinion, another thing that I think that they actually should teach you, or not even teach you, there's certain degrees that don't really translate to the real world.
Yes.
I know a lot of people now that got a degree, especially in the business I am, they got a degree and they're not using it at all. Like my example, right? I'm a music man, obviously. I was top of the class music. I went to all state, all city, everything. I could play a bunch of instruments. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go to school for music. Straight music.
Yeah.
Like, I know how to read music. I can write music. I can do anything with pretty much every instrument. So I just went, obviously, I was like, all right, I went to one of the best community colleges. They was like, my music teacher was like, hey, this is the best one, obviously, for community college in the state of New York. I went there. They got the best program, but good thing I didn't finish, because I would have just had that degree in music. The only option I probably would have had was to teach people how to play music, or possibly be a music teacher, which we know how much they make.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I feel like in high school they don't teach you kind of like an exit plan after college.
Exactly.
They kind of just tell you, okay, what do you like to do? They're so very like optimistic when it comes to college, and after you graduate, everything's gonna be so good and you're gonna have a job waiting for you. But they really don't take into account that just because you're passionate about something and you want to do that, major in that, doesn't mean that that's gonna translate into a job after you graduate.
Yep.
And they kind of just feed you that in high school just to set you up for.
Yeah. That is, if I can give someone advice, is to look at what your degree can do. What jobs your degree? You might love swimming. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go to, because they got degrees in everything. Mm-hmm. You get a degree in what's the number one, like underwater badminton or whatever it is that everyone says, because it's true. People get it. They're like, I got an associate's degree, but then you take that to your, put that on your resume, like you applying to fix planes, but you just know you don't got nothing. This doesn't help you. So now you're like, I just really got $40,000 worth of student loans, and I can't even use my degree. So now you got to go take a regular $30,000 base salary at doing something that you could have just did straight out of high school. So that's the aspect, I think.
And that's so like, just it negatively impacts your confidence.
Yep.
Knowing that you have a degree, a 4-year degree, a bachelor's degree, and then you're working the same job as someone that just got out of high school, and same pay,
same exact
thing. So it's like
wait, but before you say that, a lot of the times those people that you get that job with, the guy above you, he's making more than you, and he's telling you what to do, because while you were in college for 4 years, he was like, I don't want to go to college, I'm gonna go here. So he started exactly where you were at. 4 years, he done got promoted, making more money than you, and now you're below him. That's pretty much how my life is at this point. I'm a lot of people, and I ain't got not one degree on me.
Not one degree. Yeah, man. It's crazy what like the college system, but I know we're shitting on college a lot, but it definitely has is good benefits, because like I mentioned in the networking, you meet a lot of people in college.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't go to college, I would not be where I'm at here today. I would not be doing this podcast. I would not be a financial advisor and really, educating as many people as possible, because I was introduced to those certain individuals with that mindset that I didn't have, but they gave me that mindset. So, again, shout out. I mentioned this in the last podcast, but shout out to my fraternity brother, Miguel Reyes, and shout out to my housemate, Marcus, because they really instilled that mindset that I needed to, be a millionaire and be rich, think like a boss, and think rich, basically, and get out of that poverty mindset. So if I didn't go to college, I would have never met those two individuals, and I don't know what I would have been doing. I probably would have been, in sports management or something with business, climbing that corporate ladder and doing that basic that blueprint.
Yeah, the regular 9 to 5. Just all right, I got a good job now. I'm just gonna buy a house. I'm just gonna get some kids and just call it a day. But what I can say is with that same mentality is I want to obviously transition a little bit where from college there's other routes that people can go, which pretty much what I did is the trade school route. I know my trade school wasn't exactly like a certified trade school, but the military is still a trade school in my opinion. I think I'm a little bit different. I went to college. I didn't go straight to the military like a lot of kids do. When they first get out of high school, a lot of them be like, all right, I'm not gonna go to college. I'm gonna go straight to the military. But they get swindled. They like, all right, I just wanted to go to military. They get some stupid job in the military. You get what's called MOSs, and it's just pretty much just like a trade school. Like, all right, you can learn how to shoot guns. All right, you can learn how to work on planes. All right, you can learn how to be an admin, like which I did. So just like you got a degree in business admin, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm certified in administration. So It's almost the exact same thing, except for you got a degree in it, but I actually did it for 4 years. So that's how.
So it's like real hands-on experience.
It's hands-on, exactly. And so that's almost the same thing. So just like a trade school is all hands-on pretty much. So in a trade school, once again, a lot cheaper, a lot shorter, and you actually do the job. And with trade schools, there's people that I think in the real world, obviously, the people that the companies take trade school over some fresh kid out of college, because why would I want to teach that kid straight out of college how to fix a plane if he got a degree in aerodynamics? But the guy coming straight from, what is it, like there's trade schools on everything pretty much. So just fixing planes or fixing cars, like what's the ITT, little car thing. So they take BMW takes those kids first because BMW gives the curriculum straight to the trade school. Like, all right, here's our cars. Work on our cars, teach them how to do our cars. So as soon as they're done in like 3 to 6 months or whatever, a year max, most of them, they be like, all right, we got a place open right now in Florida. We got a place here, and you get the key. So it's pretty much the same thing with the military. They do the same thing. So when I was getting at the end, they give you like exiting, interviews with a bunch of companies. Like, all right, what's your MOS? All right, ma'am, you can do this. Hey, we're looking for a couple people that works on planes, or hey, we got an admin job opening up at Lockheed Martin up here, which I was going to obviously take, but good thing I didn't, because I'd have been that 9 to 5 climbing the corporate ladder. But it's the same thing. Like, hey, trade school, I think, in my opinion, if you're not confident in what you're like, I just got to go to college, just go to trade school. It'll literally only take you about a year max to get everything that you need.
They didn't go to, so what advice would you give to someone that didn't go to college route, they didn't go to trade school route, and they're kind of just finding their way, like they really don't have any skills or any knowledge. So they don't have skills from their trade, and then they don't have knowledge from going to college. So like, what advice would you give to that individual?
So then, like, pretty much like someone that's just getting straight out of high school.
Out of high school, yeah, and they didn't go to college, and they didn't chose the trade school route.
Yeah. So what I would say is pretty much exactly what I did. Just get yourself in the door. Like, hey, you might want to maybe you're like, I want to be a doctor, but I don't want to go to school at all. You just go get a job at a hospital. There's opportunities that all you need is a high school degree. Like I mentioned, you go there, just go there, start at housekeeping, right? When you're in, I worked at Krause for probably like almost 2 years. So when you're in Krause, they have the like a board, like just like Indeed, but it's like a Krause only. Okay. And you get to apply for certain jobs, that come up in advance. So there's other jobs in that facility that you also need a high school degree. You can start as a housekeeper, work yourself up to patient transport, and you just start opening the doors. And then, man, like you'll mature a little, and you'll be like, okay, actually, I think I can actually become a doctor. Even if it takes you longer, hey, play the long game. It's no rush. Just keep it going. And then you're like, okay, Krause will now pay for my college, so I might as well just use it, go get my, become a nurse or something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's some good game right there that you just picked, because a lot of people, they ain't go either route, college or trade school, and they really just kind of in the middle, not really knowing what to do in life. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of good stuff that we're talking about right now, because overall people think that college is the only way out, and we're here to not say that one side is better than the other, but just giving you the experiences, real experience, because I went through college route. Daquan, he did not go to college route, so we're giving you real experience and real opinions. But yeah, college. What regret would you like? Is there any regret when it comes to
not going
college
or finishing?
Not going. Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't have any regret. I actually, at this point in my life, I have no regret. I feel like, I think I probably do it a little bit over, but I'll be like, you're really going to college at this point? Once in my, obviously we have a different mindset than everyone else. In their household, they just like college. My dad went to college, my mom went to college. I'm just gonna go to college. I'm just gonna work a job. I want to be a worker for the rest of my life. I think that's the what college teach you. They don't teach you how to be a businessman or anything like that. They teach you, all right, you go to school. Hey, this is what you need to do so you get a good job. One of my favorite quote, well, not probably like a quote, but a saying. I was watching a podcast with 50 Cent, and he was like, "There's a bunch of teachers in there teaching you how to be a millionaire. How are they teaching you how to be a millionaire and they're not a millionaire? So why would I learn something from somebody that's not using it for themselves?"
Yeah, I've been saying that the whole, like, if you follow me on Instagram, you've definitely seen that that quote. Like, why are you learning something from someone that isn't qualified to speak on that area?
Exactly.
Like you want to get advice on financial advice from a doctor or something like that.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense. So follow the people that are doing the things that you want to do specifically. Whether that's so maybe you want to open a salon, and you want to be a salon owner. So follow the people that are salon owners, not your friends and family who aren't doing the things that you want to do.
Yeah, that like you mentioned, there's college. They got cosmetology. Obviously, technically, you don't really need a degree in cosmetology. You can get it from working in the, obviously it's almost like a trade. You don't have, in college, they will give you a degree in cosmetology, but you can just go to a trade school, which is a lot cheaper, a lot faster, and do it that way. Or you can obviously do the, what is it called? I'm losing the blank. Like the intern, not like an intern, but like,
internship?
Yeah, pretty much like you work in the salon or whatever, and you can get certified through that as well. Yeah, because I was gonna actually become a barber, so it's the opportunities they don't teach you obviously, so but it's definitely ways. But one thing that, like I mentioned before, if that guy in there is teaching you something and he's not doing it himself, you should really think like,
you should reconsider.
Why am I really doing this to do what he's doing?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. But overall, what we're trying to say is, what I'm trying to say, and then Nikwan can say what you want to say, but if you don't have a plan, for any high schoolers that are listening to this podcast right now, if you don't have a plan right now for college, you're kind of just following the wave, definitely rethink your decision and just going to college, because you're going to waste 4 years of your life, trying to figure it out in college. So maybe you might switch a couple majors, and now you're in there for more time because you're not on pace to get your degree. You're going to waste more money being in college. You're going to take on more loans. So now you're more in debt, and you just wasted more years of your life that could have been towards something else. Maybe you wanted to start a business after high school. Maybe you're passionate in, like you said, like maybe you want to be a barber and you wanted to own your own barbershop and, make a chain of barbershops. So definitely rethink what your passion is and see how you could translate that into a career and not just fully thinking about college.
Yeah. Obviously, like I mentioned before, if you really look up how school was created for, it was only for one thing. The reason they put you in rows. Because back in the day, it was basically they started school for factory workers. So that way you can just put your pieces together. Do it this way. It's only one right way. It's A B C D. That's it. Just like them tests. A B C D. It's one of these tests.
Wow,
that's the only answer.
That's
so
crazy.
if you really look at what school was created for back in the day, which I did a lot of
very
I watched random
robotic
stuff. There's a reason they put you in lines. Just like in a factory, you're in the line. This is the answer. This is the piece that goes here. So they're not going to obviously teach you how to be a millionaire, how to fix credit, how to do all the financial stuff, because if you knew that, there would be no reason for you to go to school. So
yeah, you spend more game right now, because that's a fact. They don't teach you about what you actually need in college.
Yep.
Like, I'm doing financial advising right now. And I love it, because I feel like I'm really impacting the lives of people in a positive manner, and I'm really helping the community. But to be honest, I did not need a college degree to get into my field. Like, my manager that hired me, he kept it a buck with me and said, "You really didn't need a college degree, but we just want people with college degrees because obviously what I mentioned, you have a well-rounded education. You could think critically.
You can follow directions.
You could follow directions. Yeah, exactly. But I didn't need a college degree. I just needed to be passionate about financial advising, and really have that entrepreneurial mind.
So let me ask you this. So you obviously you're financial advisors, and I'm pretty sure just like any other field, there's certification that you probably could have got to make, and you could have just started it your own self. If you had some certs, some quick, they probably gave it at the college, but just some certification that you got that you could have just took on your own, just paid a little couple $100 here, took the class, and that was it. And hey, you're a certified financial advisor.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if I would have, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna say that I regret my decision to go to college, because that's not what I'm saying at all. If I had to go back in time and make the decision again, I would 100% choose the college route. But I always think about, all right, what have been like if as soon as I graduated from high school, I took these courses on financial advising, and I took my certifications. I took my Series 7, my life insurance agent exam. I took my Series 66. If I study for all these courses, by 18 I would have all my courses done instead of 22 or 23 whenever I started financial advising. But those 4 years, that could have propelled me into a way bigger situation. Like, I could have been a big shot right now if I would have.
Yeah, for you to have 4 years of experience by now.
Yeah, but instead I went to college, and I
the regular
route. But like I said,
that's the stuff they don't teach you. We just know, like, all right, I gotta go to college. Like, all right, I was like, I'm good at music. Well, I gotta go to college to do something with music. So that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, when in my field specifically, like, your first 4 years are gonna be like your baby stages. It's kind of like a business. You're basically building your book of business. So those first 4 years, if I would have did that in as soon as I graduated from high school, like right now, I would have probably made like 6 figures, like right now. Yeah. And just always expanding my business, and I would have been on my way to being a millionaire. But those 4 years are big in someone's life. So that's what I'm really trying to.
I'm not saying don't go to school, but just don't go. I even mentioned, have a plan. Don't go in there blindfolded like obviously I did. I'm just like, all right, that's where I'm going. I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done with school. All right, now it's time to go to more school, I guess.
Yeah, man, it's crazy what they teach you in high school, but definitely got to try to snap out of that mindset, not trying to follow the leader or whatever.
Yeah.
You trying to call it, but
yeah. So now let's obviously change over one more time. So now that let's talk about. I don't think we really covered your real all right. So your freshman year, right? You get to college, and did you get to pick your classes, or did you were like, all right, this is I got a transcript, I got the schedule. This is what I got to do because I picked this degree course.
Major, yeah. So you pick your major, and then they give you the courses that you need to complete that major. So you can choose like what you want to take right now, but at the end of the day, you still got to take it at some point. So then you have your electives where basically they're not tied to your major, but you could pretty much choose whatever class you really want.
And that's what I'm gonna hold on right there. So with the elective thing, I that's one more thing because technically you gotta pay that elective class. So they just throw that on there like, well, I guess you're going to school to be a financial advisor, but we need you to take swimming 101. Like, I'm never getting in the water as a financial advisor. Why would I take this course?
That's crazy that you mentioned that because I took what I took. I took yoga. Like,
yes.
Like
why
do I need yoga?
I took a
why am I paying dollars for yoga? Like, I mean, mind you, it was a pretty wavy experience.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
I don't need yoga for my degree. So I feel like college should really narrow down what you actually need for your degree
and that's
to
the
graduate.
Only thing you got to take. That's the only thing. I don't need to go and do bird watching 101. They just be giving them names and numbers at this point. But they got those courses. They like, how can we make
more money?
About 20 students. Let's just say the course is like $300. They like, oh yeah, that's a check. That's the business aspect of it. Is like they just be like, hey, bird watching 101, you got to take an elective. Here's your 17,000 electives that we got. Each one, they don't really tell you how much it costs technically for the course. They be like, all right, pick one. You need to do one of these.
Yeah, and we don't really think that we're actually paying that because we already signed off on the loan. So it feels like So it's like, all right, it's free basically.
And that's how they do it.
But you actually are paying for that, and that's kind of like the college system that.
The underground that
we don't really know about, we don't really talk about. So for any Joe Biden, I don't know, you gotta
definitely
handle that. System.
But that goes back to the trade school thing. Trade school is exactly what we just said. We're only gonna teach you how to be a plumber. We ain't teaching. You ain't coming here to do gym. You ain't finna run no laps. We ain't got no gym teachers in the building. We got certified plumbers in here to teach you how to be a plumber, and that's why mainly me. You like you mentioned, like you follow me on Instagram. I'm pushing trade school heavy. I don't really push the military as much. Now that I know what I know, I would have just went because you can get a business. You can get certified as a business admin in the trade school. So I would have probably just did that way because. It's the same. I got my job. I started off. I did the same route. I went to the Marine Corps. So my whole life, I've always been just get me in the door and I'm going to show you what I can do. And that's how I did it here. I got out the Marine Corps, certified admin. I got a couple of certs, but in the Marine and from all my military people, take those certs because the real world don't know what the certs are. They just know, hey, I got a cert from the Department of Labor that technically I didn't do anything for. It says I'm a certified computer operator. I just had to click some buttons.
Yeah.
And I got a cert. It's a certified cert from the Department of Labor saying I'm a computer operator. And the guy, my boss, he's like, yeah, I saw you're a computer operator. Like, yeah, and I talk that game like, yeah, I can do anything on a computer. Obviously I can because I love computers, but I didn't start off where I was at. I started off as an administrative assistant or an executive assistant, which is just a glorified secretary. But I knew I want to get into real estate, so I'm going to work for a real estate company. So I was like, once I get in, even if I don't progress, I'm going to be around it. So I'm like, I'm going to be communicating with a bunch of investors that come in the office and doing loans and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how it was. And I've always been that type of guy. I tell if I ever got a job, I said, hey, if you ever need me to do anything, take on a more role, I'll take it. And that's what one of my big things is. Obviously, I don't have that college degree, so I got to use my niche. I got to know, I'm going to have to outwork this dude with the degree. And obviously at work, I'm not afraid to work. So if you're not going to go to college, don't be afraid to work. And you're going to get far if you're not afraid to work.
So, yeah, definitely, Daquan. But another thing about a college degree is that I feel like you don't really need it as much today as you did back then because of the internet access. Yep. So as you mentioned in our last podcast episode, YouTube University. If you want to own a business or you want to be a business owner, you don't have to go to college and major in business administration. You go really learn from people that are actually business owners.
Yep.
Go on YouTube, see, what it's like to start a LLC. What's the process for that? What do you need to start a business? How does overhead expenses work? How do you fund a business?
Yeah.
What is network marketing exactly?
Yeah. So I'm gonna piggyback right off with what you said was, it had the name for itself, YouTube University. It's just like school, except for you're going there. There's someone online right now on YouTube teaching you only about what you want to do. So it's the same thing. It's a reason they call it YouTube University. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people out there that learn some stuff from YouTube that you would never even thought that school wouldn't even bring that up. Like how to fix a car. What? Why would I teach you how to fix your tire or do something like that? But you learn that on YouTube, and YouTube University is probably the biggest school in the world to me.
Nah, absolutely, man. I hope you guys are taking these gems. Obviously, this is more geared towards pretty much everyone. Because we really want to get out of the mindset of
there's only one route.
There's only one route, exactly. You took it right out of my mouth. But yeah.
That's pretty much all I have for today's episode. Obviously, unless you got one more gem on how it was being in the 4-year suites.
Like I said, best years of my life. I joined a fraternity, and that really changed my life because it gave me that extra network that I needed to, get to where I need to go in life. At the end of the day, it is a brotherhood, so I'm in here forever. I network with a lot of different brothers in the brotherhood. So, let's say I'm a financial advisor. Obviously, helping other people is my job. So now I have that market right there of brotherhood that I could, market myself and help each one of those brothers. So it just gives you an extra audience to, help out, as well as an extra audience to support you and, guide you to where you need to go in life. So
yeah. So I got that. I got the same thing, obviously. Yeah, fraternity and military, they're all brotherhoods. So wherever I go, obviously, Marine's always gonna protect the Marine at this point in my life. Yeah. So it's the same exact way. There's I think I posted we did the intro video, right? And then a dude, a Marine that I was in boot camp with, he was like O2 for life.
Oh, so, I know.
Yeah. So you ain't know, but O2 was our unit. So our boot camp unit, yeah. So we platoon 1102, and that's forever. So anyone that obviously was in my unit, we follow everybody. It's a brotherhood at this point. And they came up to my wedding after boot camp. Some dudes I met for we probably was in my rack mate and stuff 3 months straight. We were together 24/7. So and that's just a brotherhood now. That's always been my brother.
Yeah. So he had his networking through the military. I had my networking through going to college. So you could pretty much get networking anywhere in life. You just really have to
take advantage of it.
Yeah, take advantage of it, put your best foot forward, and really being open to meeting different people. You can't be so closed-minded and thinking that you're gonna, do it on your own. There's this quote out there. What is it? You could go fast by yourself, but if you want to go far, you got to go with a team. So definitely make sure that you're networking, you're meeting as many people as possible, learning different things. And you could pretty much get that from anywhere, not just college. So before you head into trying to go to college, think about all your options, not just that one option.
And I don't want to downplay the college aspect. Obviously, I didn't go, but college. Some people need college. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people are not. They don't have our type of mindset. Some people are just workers. Everyone can't be a boss. So hey, college. If you know that you don't like to interact and lead by example or be in the forefront, college may be for you. You may want to just work that 9 to 5 and live a nice, happy, personal life. And then there's some of us that just school ain't for me. But take advantage of it. Don't take it. And what I can say is, if you're not going to school, take a job in something that you want to do. If you you like to cook, it's okay to go work at McDonald's. You got to, when you get in there, do what I would do. If I wanted to be a cook, right, I have no shame in where I work and where I start at. So I will literally go to McDonald's and I will learn from what McDonald's is doing, because that's free game. It's free schooling right there. You want to
like $1 billion company.
Exactly.
You could definitely learn a lot from McDonald's.
You'll see them packages coming through where they get their hamburgers from. You be like, oh, they get their hamburgers from this place right down the street. I can go get my hamburgers from them too. They just a small mom and pop place. They just do meat. But obviously they probably got a national. But there's any company, you can literally learn $1 million idea just from being in there.
Definitely. Yeah, man. I hope you guys are taking these gems. Definitely hope that you guys are learning a lot, because this is just our mission to really educate as many people as possible.
To just give free game at this point.
Free game. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, definitely give it a review. Leave a comment, because that will help us to reach as many people.
Yeah, share everywhere. Don't like I say, it don't cost nothing to share that button. So just hit that share and let the world know that
it's free 99.
Yeah, because if you share it, in my opinion, I share a bunch of stuff. Even if I feel like it touched me or it can help someone, I share it. And then what I've been noticing lately, since I've been doing it for probably like a year or so now, people just come and hit me up like, yo, I saw you talking about stocks. So hey, I was thinking about doing it. And obviously I'm not the number one stock guy. I have no shame, and I don't really talk about what I don't know. My niche is obviously real estate. I can talk about real estate from top to bottom, left and right. But I want to get into more in the stock. So I'll be like, hey, I just watched these two people on YouTube. Here you go. And just giving out free game. And that's going to pretty much the podcast obviously is to give you the game. You take it where you want to go, and just remember where you got it from. Because when the time comes, you be like, yo, I got some stock knowledge. I was listening to your podcast. You guys made me get into stocks. And because I'm taking advantage of it. So if I see someone, really doing that stuff, hey, can you teach me? I love to learn, especially if I can get it for a discount.
Definitely. Absolutely. So yeah, flipping finance. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to speaking to you guys on the next one.
Definitely.
Stay tuned.